everyone. So excited to see you here. I cannot wait for this day. Fern,
yes.
I have been looking forward to this for so long.
So long?
Yes, I really have.
All weekend?
Yes. Yeah, all weekend, a little longer than all weekend.
That's right.
But we're so excited to have you join us today. We have a fun week ahead. So, welcome to 3 Things at 3, where number 1 is something to smile
about.
Number 2 is something to learn.
Yep.
And number 3 is something to discover. So let's go.
Yeehaw.
Welcome back. Here we are. This is so exciting.
I know.
This is
a new
fun.
week.
It really is. I'm so happy to have Fern and Sandra with me today. As you can see, that we're missing a couple people.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So Allison and Chris are, and the group are in Baby Lock Tech back in St. Louis. So we wish them and hope them the very best. And
They're having a good time.
they are having a good time.
And learning so
Yes.
much.
Yes,
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh. I talked to Lisa and oh my gosh, she has said they have learned so much.
Well, there's lots of fun things, and we can't wait to show and tell you all about what's happening. Well, this week is called Rodeo Round-Up.
Yes.
What a fun week this is going to be. So, we do have some fun little things.
Sayings.
Yeah, some little sayings.
some
But
things to
first
do.
of all, okay, my uncle actually did cowboy poetry. And so he was really good with doing,
how
with going and
fun.
doing. I
That's
wish
cool.
that I could have had him come, for sure. That would have been really fun. But I did learn that cowboy poetry has been around for a long time. And it came about that the cowboys, you know, on their rides and stuff, that they would talk about their experiences, and so it's been around for a long time. It was one way of connecting with other cowboys on the range. You know, it's a Western kind
We
of
think
thing.
of the old country songs, country Western songs,
Yeah.
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
They always told a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and they had a lot of poetry in them, and they told a story. So it's been around for a long time.
Yes, it has.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's no
been
rhyme.
great.
There's no rhyme or reason about a cowboy poetry either.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there isn't a specific thing that you have to follow. You can just go with whatever their experiences
want.
were,
Yeah, their
and
experiences.
it made a connection with other cowboys. So which kind of correlates with us quilters, right?
That's right.
We do make connections, and that's how we have our lingo. Well, the cowboys and their cowboy poetry has their lingo as
They
well.
do. And
So-
some of them are so funny. I watched, they had a couple of cowboy poets on the news, it's been about a week ago, and the one told his poem, and it was so funny. I was like sitting there giggling all by myself. In
Yeah.
my
Well, yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
it could be funny, it could be serious, anything about their
Tell a
life
story.
or whatever that can tell a story. So it
Yeah.
could be sad, or it could be, but it's a lot of fun. So we do have some quotes
We do.
with about cowboy, be a cowboy poetry. So the first one, do you want to read it, Fern?
Sure. Bravery is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. And I grew up in the city. My cousins grew up on a farm, and they had horses. So when I was about 11, 12, we'd go down, and those horses scared the bejeebies out of me. And I had to still get on the horse, and I still am afraid of large animals, all large animals.
They are intimidating,
but
though.
they're so much fun to ride.
For sure, yeah. I totally agree. I was bucked off of a horse when I was younger,
Ooh.
trying to think that I was going to be a real cowgirl. and it would kind of
scares
scared
you,
me.
yeah.
It does scare you a
And
little
you have
bit.
to get back on.
But they're beautiful, beautiful animals, for sure. So,
Yes.
all right, let's read another one. Sandra.
Hey, life's a rodeo. All you have to do is stay in the saddle.
Ain't that the truth?
And that's true.
So
that goes.
true,
That
so
just,
true.
Yeah, for sure.
With everything in life. And if you get bucked off, what do?
You get
You
back
just
on.
get back on and try
Yeah.
again, don't you?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always that saying, it's not my first rodeo.
Exactly.
Right?
Say that
So
a
it's
few
great. Yeah, so it's really fun. Yeah, John Wayne also
Yes.
said saddle up anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Exactly.
All right, I think we have one more. That there never was a horse that couldn't be rode. Never was a cowboy who couldn't be throwed.
True that.
Isn't that true?
Oh, true.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you're not really a true cowboy though
Unless
unless
you've been
you get
throwed
thrown off.
Well,
Yes.
or bucked
Right.
or bucked off. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm not much. I mean, I have learned a lot this week because I've been talking. I'm not a real cowboy, and even though I live in the West, kind of,
In the country?
and the country and stuff like that, it's something that's a little foreign to me. But it's really interesting. In fact, I want to tell you a story that I did attend our local rodeo here,
Okay.
our fair. I didn't actually go in. I was on the outskirts. Okay, all right, well, okay. So I was on the outskirts, and just the whole feeling of patriotism
yeah.
when they sang the national anthem. Everyone, even on the outside, stood and put their hand over their heart, and just the excitement of
Yeah.
being there and all that stuff. I can't imagine what being thrown off of a big animal, that would be really scary to me. But anyway, I did try just to get into character this week. So it was a lot of fun. So
And you know, there is not a rodeo around that they don't take the flag around.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
the
yeah.
rodeo
They ride it
starts,
around.
Yeah.
anything like that, that's the first thing that they do is they parade around and they bring in the flag.
very
Yeah.
patriotism.
So, yes,
I
very
mean,
much so.
It was great. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time just standing out there and just kind of watching.
watching.
I almost purchased a pair of cowboy boots. So just so you know.
close.
My first pair of cowboy boots, but I didn't. So anyway, but we have a really fun show for you today. But first, before we go over to show them our fun little activity that we're
Yeah.
going to do, we're going to talk to you about a brand new machine that was just introduced this last week at Baby Lock Tech, and I
It is
can't
so
wait for
cool.
you to see it. I guess we really should applaud, right?
I know.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
So I think that machine looks absolutely fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it in person. So it is just kind of like a serger, only it's a cover stitch only machine. So it's more decorative. So I'm I'm very intrigued about what it's, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. It will be really
I don't
fun.
make clothes, but I would definitely use those stitches.
Oh.
I watched it like 3 times yesterday, all the different stitches, and I would definitely use those stitches on decorating a bag or
A table runner.
around a project.
Well,
a
there's
table
all
runner,
kinds of
yeah.
different
Placemats, all
bags.
kinds. I mean,
Yeah.
I could think of a lot of
Yeah.
things that you could
Well,
definitely use.
and
that
my,
for.
my new favorite thing is decorative threads. So we will,
okay.
and we'll talk about some decorative threads today.
Yeah, we
So
are.
I'm excited to show you, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you. But we have such a fun project, and it's the big hype that's going on right now, is rope projects, right?
it is.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we have our 2 resident professionals in the rope. Not the roping the cows
Oh,
at all. We could do your
We
lassoing.
could tie you up.
There you go. But, we're going to turn the time over to Fern, and you're going to,
Sandra?
and Sandra, both of you.
Yeah.
So you're going to kind of tell us a little bit about what's happening, and we'll show you some fun ideas. So this will be a lot of fun.
okay.
Okay.
So the first thing that they asked us to do some rope projects, okay? So we kind of threw out some ideas there on what we felt like was kind of popular out there right now and what would really work well. So the first thing that we decided to do was to take the project of dyeing rope. Okay.
So cool.
I know
Yeah.
that people have seen it out there. There's been a lot of different things as far as dyeing your rope. So I did the great thing of going out and I just went and bought some RIT dye, is all you need. And then you just follow the instructions on there. And because the Kimberbell rope that we're using is 100% cotton, it just soaked up that dye,
Oh, I
that
bet.
color, and
Yeah.
it works so well. And I found that the longer you left it in the dye, obviously, the darker it would get.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So let me just show you a couple of things that I got, that I have here,
I love your colors that you chose.
that I decided on. And so this is what I've done. I used a denim blue, of course,
Yeah.
for a
Denim,
rodeo or
yep.
whatever, denim. I thought that would work out really well. This is called Scarlet, and I did find that, again, the longer I left it in the water, in the dye, then the darker it did get, because when I first started doing it, it was like really pink.
Oh.
And so I said, no, I want it darker, so I left it in. I left this one in probably almost an hour
Oh, wow. Okay.
for it to absorb that color. And then this one here is just a teal color.
It's really pretty.
So it turned out really great. But dyeing your rope, if you need something to kind of match your decor in
Okay,
any way,
good idea.
I would highly recommend dyeing, because otherwise, you've got your natural colored rope. But another thing that really emphasized a lot of this was a variegated thread.
Yes.
And so we did a little bit of a couple of them with some variegated thread, using different stitches on your machine that would kind of help that along a little bit too. So as you can see with this one, and we'll talk about the designs here in a minute, but you can see with this one here, I just used, it was this color, it's a brown, let's see, it's called Very Brown.
Very brown.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. This color, and it goes with like a tan and then a brown and
Kind of a
different.
gold.
Yeah.
It's really
So, that one I just did a regular zigzag stitch in order to make it. Okay, so that's what we did there. This one here, I used the yellow one. It just kind of made this pop, and I knew I was going to put the little star on it. So I used the yellow, and it just kind of helped give it a little bit more character.
It's really fun.
yeah.
So
Sandra,
it was
I have
really
a question.
good.
I have a question about your dyeing.
Okay.
Did you dye it in a bucket, or you just put it in a bucket, or how did you dye? How did you do it?
You have to use really hot water. It has to
Okay.
be, they say, about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? And so I actually put it on the stove.
Oh,
And I used a stainless steel pan,
okay.
okay? And so you just take it and get your water to boiling point, okay? And then I added the dye. You add a little bit of salt,
Oh,
Salt.
interesting.
It holds it.
Is that in the instructions?
It is.
So you can,
Yeah.
okay.
All
so
of
you don't have to
it is.
remember.
All of the instructions tell you how to do that. So you add a little bit of salt and a little bit of dish soap.
Ah.
Just
Okay.
I shouldn't say a little salt. Use a lot of salt. About a cup.
Oh,
that is-
that's a little
lot
more.
of salt.
more than
That
your
was a
salt
little
shaker.
bit more than I had thought that
Yeah.
it would take.
Okay.
Okay. So a lot of salt, just a teaspoon of dish soap, and then you let that come to a boil, and then I just turned it off and put my rope in there. Now, because I left it in a little bit longer, you need to make sure that your water stays hot. So I did turn my stove on a very low temperature.
Oh.
And just on the lowest one that it could be on, and then I just let it sit.
Wow.
I totally would have put it in my sink, and my sink would have
And
been
then
red.
you would have, you would have died.
You know, it says to use a bucket.
Back in the day, yeah.
A bucket, but they
Okay.
also said to use like a stainless steel pan.
Totally.
So
Okay.
I did use, and
It worked.
It worked. It did not take pan did not turn red or blue. It stayed, it washed right out. So it worked out really well.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, it's super simple. It was very, very simple to diet. And it's just, the hardest part is, I'll tell you, deciding what color you want.
Oh, I
Right?
bet.
Isn't that the case
Well,
with everything we do?
Or also, how dark. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
know when if it's your first time. And
Yeah.
and Leanne, she said she used RIT dye.
Yeah,
so
I did.
that's just
Just
Yeah.
a RIT dye, and you can buy it at the hobby store or
grocery store.
Grocery store, anywhere you can get it. Now, I am going to tell you a little story that I had about dyeing. I made all of my girls' prom dresses. Okay, and my oldest daughter, she really liked purple. Okay, and so her first date that she went on was to homecoming, and she wanted a purple dress. So we got it all figured out what we were going to do, and it had a lace overlay on this dress.
Oh.
Okay, do you think I could find purple
No.
lace?
Oh, I'm sure not.
Not at all.
Could not find purple lace anywhere. So I went out and I purchased some lace, and it wasn't just an inexpensive piece of lace. I probably paid $50 for a half a yard of this lace. Yeah. And I took it
That
home.
was a long time ago, too.
I know.
I took it
been a few years.
home and I'm like, okay, we're gonna try this. I went and bought purple dye, and I'm standing over my stove with
Like,
a
should I or shouldn't
purple
I?
dye in this pan, and I'm like, okay, Tracy, here goes nothing. And in the pan, this lace went. And I'm like, this is the color of purple, because I'd already bought the fabric for the dress. And here's the dye in there, and I left it in there. I kept checking it, going, okay, is it dark enough? Is it dark enough? And I'll tell you what, it came out absolutely perfect.
That's fun.
And it made the dress absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, so don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't
I
be
says-
afraid.
I know you
it'll
can
work.
dye your own fabric as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's lots of that's a whole new.
Yes.
That's a whole new 3 at 3.
That's a whole new
exactly.
3
right? That we
We could go on and on,
and
but
on
yeah,
and on.
yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
really interesting. How fun!
Yeah.
I never would have thought to have tried to dye it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so that's what I did, and it worked out just great. Okay, so then back to the variegated thread. Okay, we used a couple of different ones. You can see on these two right
I
here.
love these.
We even used a different stitch.
decorative stitch.
A decorative
Yeah.
stitch
Yeah.
off of your machine. And there's a couple here that Fern did with a couple of little
love
different
them.
ones.
Yeah.
So
It's really
just,
stunning.
Hey, make it yours. Make it
Absolutely.
go with what you want, and it will.
And
just give it a
experiment.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun.
And it's very forgiving.
Well,
Yes.
and these are so easy to do. So
they are.
So
They
let's
are.
show them how fun it is.
Okay.
And today we are using the Baby Lock Altair.
Yep.
And so are you going to show them doing it with a straight stitch or
Nope.
a zigzag?
So like when you sew on rope, you have to do a zigzag or
Okay. Yeah,
a stitch
to get-
that goes wide
it goes
and thin.
It goes
Yeah.
back and forth, so it catches the
Yes,
rope,
so
right?
it's going to catch the rope
Okay.
on either side. One quick question I saw someone asked is when you dyed your rope, did you dye the whole thing or did you just dye what you needed for your project?
Okay, I just dyed a length.
Okay, so
I
you
think
put-
I think what I ended up doing was like 4 yards.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I just used it. Now you'll notice on this one, I had some
Fancy.
extra
So you
on
made
the
it-
red and an extra on the blue. And so I split it together there and I
love
made
it.
2 colors.
I love it.
That's
That's
fun.
great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah. So she dyed it individually.
Yes,
so
I
she
did.
just stuck the whole
Yeah.
thing in
Right.
like a snake in a basket.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Sandra, do you
There's
want
a
to show
snake.
them how
No,
to
that's a snake in my
brain?
boot.
Oh, shaking my boot.
We got to keep with the theme,
Oh, okay.
ladies. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so the first thing that you do with your rope is you've got to make this end right here so that you can start it. So basically what you do, there is an inner core on your rope and then the outside of it. So you just kind of expose that inner core a little bit right there, and then you can grab a hold of that, and then you pull this outer core away, okay? So this is what you would do. All right, so you're gonna
Oh,
pull
wow.
that out
That's
just like
cool.
that. Okay, and then you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut, I'd say about an inch or so
Yeah.
off of there, okay? And then you're gonna take this and push it right back over that core.
Over the top.
Oh.
And then
okay.
you have this piece of your rope here, and I usually like at least a finger's width.
At least,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good to
at
get
least
it
a
curled.
finger's width here. Now you can also take a little bit of fray check
Yeah.
and put on the end of this. And so
Top drawer.
we can get that. There it is, right?
That's a good idea
there.
because then you don't have the little fraying,
You don't have
pokey
the
thing.
fraying ends, and also it kind of glues it
It makes
together.
it stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
which
does.
is nice, and
Yeah.
it helps when it gets started.
Yeah.
Because didn't you find that when starting it is always the hardest,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, yes.
That's where you could use whatever to get it started,
Yes.
you know, like clips or something to get
The
started.
clip, you're going to sew there, so you don't want to use clips.
You just have to make sure your fingers are nice.
Right, and like a stylus or purple thing.
Oh, good.
Stiletto.
A stiletto.
Okay.
A
That's right,
stiletto
a
by
stiletto.
Annie?
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
That works
Is
really
really
great
good.
for me.
That's great.
And
Or
Great
long
tips.
nails. Just
Yeah.
don't get your finger.
Yeah. Sandy said
No,
nail
don't use
polish
nails.
on the end would work too if you didn't have.
Yes,
So
right.
that would work
You're
really
exactly
good too.
right.
Yeah, you just want to make sure
You
you're
want
not sticking your hands on it
right,
because you don't
and
want
you
that all
do
over your hands.
probably want to let it dry
Right.
before you start.
Yeah.
So it doesn't gum
Yeah.
up your needle, right?
That totally.
Okay.
And so what you do is you just take this and just kind of, if I get some out of there, I'm gonna put this on the end of it. I might have to go to the other bottle, or take a pen and put it in the end of it. It's not coming out. Let's see what we got here.
Fray check is the best, isn't it?
It is.
'Cause
Yeah.
it really does. I mean,
It
in all
works
of your
really well.
yeah, so that the end of ribbon or whatever. But I think they kind of get the idea. Is it
Okay.
going to come out?
I think so, yeah. I
We
just
can
have-
get it in there.
There we go. All right, there we go. Yep, just put a little bit of fray check on the end of it, and then I just
Kinda
took
roll
it
it.
and just kind of pushed it together like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love it.
Just
Then
like
you
that.
don't have to be worrying about the little
All that
fray
little
things
fray
that
does.
are and
Then you're going to take this, and you're just going to fold that over like that.
okay, so where you
Just
had
take-
cut the core out.
and then you're going to take this and start rolling it,
Oh,
just like that.
okay. I love that idea. That's a
Okay?
lot easier
Now
than
I'm
what
going
I
to turn
did.
this over to Fern, and she's going to start stitching.
Yep. So on mine, I made it a little bit longer. Like I didn't roll it really tight because it needs something to grab onto.
So it's more of an oblong
Yeah.
instead of a circle when you
And
get started.
like by the time you're done, it looks like a circle.
Okay, gotcha.
So do you have a purple thing in there?
Oh,
You have some nice
a
nails.
stiletto.
I bet it helps to have your nails
It
help
helps. I can
hold it.
see the difference between the rope and my fingers. So
That's a
That
good. That is
definitely
really
helps.
a good thing.
thank you. And then your settings on your machine, because you want a zigzag or you want a decorative that goes in and out. I'm just going to do a zigzag today. But your settings, your width, you want it at 3.5. And I'm going to start my length a little shorter. Normally I'd go with 4.5, but I'm going to start at 3.0 just because I'm at the very beginning, and I want it to build up some.
So you want it nice
substance.
and tight,
Yeah.
so that it won't unfray.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just going to start with a zigzag, and if I have to go over it a couple of times, it will be okay.
The nice thing about this is it's so forgiving,
Right.
right? So then if you miss some, you can
go
always
back.
Oh, you can go
always
back.
go back.
Yeah.
and do
Now,
it.
William asked if a wider stitch makes it better. Not necessarily. I'm not going to say it's any better, but I'm not going to say it's
not any worse?
either.
It
It's just as a matter of as after you make that wider stitch, it's going to make a difference in what it looks like.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, and then you just want to make sure that it's catching both
Both.
of
Both sides of the
both
rope.
sides of the rope.
Yep.
And so I'm going to do a couple stitches. I'm going to stop and I'm going to spin it. And you want your rope so it is clockwise and it's coming out at the bottom, so you can keep your rope all to one side.
You can control
You
that.
can control it much better.
Now, Fern, I will tell you that when I did one of them, I did it on the other side. I did it counterclockwise.
Uh-huh.
It works. It was a little harder, but I'm right-handed.
Oh, there
So
you
if
go.
you're left-handed, especially on this, it's not going to matter. So if you're left-handed and you're used to working that other direction,
Then it might be good.
definitely would be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found that as I did it right-handed, it worked better
Then it
for me.
works.
But one of them I did, this
did
one,
it
as you can
left-handed?
see,
Oh yeah,
and
it
we'll
ends
show
on the
you.
other side.
The difference that you see here is that this comes up this direction. So this is the one I did
Oh, okay.
this way, and this one I did this way.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fun.
Yeah,
What
so-
size needle are you using, Fern? Is this an 80-12?
I'm going to say an 80-12.
Okay.
I think that's
Yeah.
what we keep on this machine.
Yeah, but it doesn't, you could use,
I would definitely, I don't think I'd do a 75-11.
I would probably
It's-
go
yeah.
with an
Stay
either
with
an
an 80,
80-12,
right.
and I've even used a 90-14.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the other one is, we are using 100% cotton thread on, no, actually,
No,
this
we're
is
using the
not.
variegated
This is
because
a variegated thread that we're using that is the polyester, and it doesn't matter. Now,
Get my hands out of the way.
if you're going to make your coaster or your project and then dye it, you might have an issue.
Well,
I
especially
would-
when you put heat,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So, it doesn't matter. We've used both.
Well, you probably wouldn't really wash it that much anyway,
Depends on
right?
if you spill your coffee on it or
Okay.
your
Oh,
Diet
that's true.
Coke or-
Okay, you're right, you're right.
nobody spills Pepsi because we don't want to waste any of that, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not spilling my drink. How about
No,
your
I-
Coke Zero there,
no.
Jackie?
Yeah.
No.
You're not spilling that, are you?
No,
either?
I'm not.
And once it gets bigger, you're just holding on to it. You don't need the stiletto. You can keep your fingers away from it and you're just
You just keep
rotating it with your hand.
going. Okay, this is so cute. I love the variegated thread.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, the variegated thread really adds something to it.
And yeah, William is saying that you could put some of the non-slip shelf protector stuff on the bottom,
on the bottom.
of
That's a
these.
good idea.
That would definitely keep it so it wouldn't slip, slide across the counter
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, this is so fun.
So you can
I
decide
love
how
it.
big you want it, and then when you stop, you want to. I actually just reduce my length down to 1 or 0, and just let it stitch it. Give it a good stitch right there.
Oh, okay, to end.
Yep. And then I'm going to cut my thread, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the end. Whereas I want to see how I want to end it.
Okay,
Let's bring it over here for.
Oh.
Oh,
Right here?
Can you,
Right
she
there
can see
works.
Where's she?
Right
Good.
there.
Oh, look how
Okay.
cute. I love
That
how
works.
I love how you
Yeah.
ended that.
So I'm going to see where I want to end it, and then I'm going to allow myself enough room to cut and to pull out that inner core. And I'll go back, tuck it underneath, and just go over and stitch it
Oh, I
again.
love that. That's really
And
fun.
then just depending on what you want it to look like. And I like this because if you have little hangers in your
Yeah.
kitchen, you can hang them on there, or you can grab it with your finger and twirl it.
yeah.
That's cute.
Dance
My-
around the
my-
house with it.
My grandson loves to play with my coasters because he's learning his shapes. And so
Okay.
he always says, it's a circle. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is great. So you could make a whole bunch of shapes for
Yeah.
for you
Oh yeah,
grandkids
you know what?
to
You could
teach
do
them
different shapes too.
to
Oh, you totally could do
Yeah.
different shapes. Now, we've done round ones here.
Yeah.
I think most all these
Because
are
we didn't
round.
think of different shapes.
I know. That's just what we think,
I did.
right?
I did a couple little things, but we'll show that in our three.
in our next one. So
Yeah.
this is awesome. That is so fun.
Do you
okay.
remember like stacking in a restaurant, getting the coasters and stacking them? I remember doing it with you guys. Well, Nolan. You stack up the coasters and you flick it off
Yeah.
the side and catch them.
Yep.
Yeah. This
Oh,
would be
so you
fun.
can play.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah, you take it to the edge of the counter and then just do this and it catches it as it comes in.
okay.
You
So
know.
not only
This is
can you use
restaurant
it-
entertainment.
Oh my goodness! You just make games out
know,
of it.
that's
So
right.
it's a coaster for all uses.
I'll use it.
What do you do? What
Frisbee.
do you do with your coaster? Yeah, right. Just, everyone, let us know.
Oh, ornaments on a tree.
Oh,
William,
ornaments
that's
would
awesome.
be really cute.
Yes.
You could actually put a bunch of them together and give them as a gift. Wrap
Right.
some cute ribbon around them and do some. Look how fast you
Get some
did.
little glasses.
Oh,
for
so
wedding
Oh
cute.
yeah, super fast.
Okay.
Now
it's a really fast project.
Now,
let's
like
go.
to take it to the next step
Yeah.
because this is kind of boring. I mean, it's cute, but it's not. It's kind of boring.
Let's talk about. Okay, let's embroider on it.
Yes.
Whoa.
You know we love embroidery.
So now
Yes.
we're getting into.
Deb doesn't want to go out and eat with us. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. I love
Oh,
that.
come on. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let's take it to the next step and let's just put a little bit of a design on the top of it. Okay. So we said that our theme for this week is Rodeo
Rodeo
Round-Up.
Round-Up.
Okay. So as you can see, so
I
you
love
can
it.
see we've done a few designs in a Western theme, I guess
Yes,
you could
we
say.
have.
All right. So.
Oh, but I think we need to tell them about the designs.
Okay.
Our own Debbie
Yes.
digitized these designs just for this
just
week.
for this. That's
So
exactly
it's really
right.
fun, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it, but it sure is fun.
Yeah.
Good
So-
job, Debbie.
So you could definitely, we've got a few designs here that we've done that are kind of a Western theme here. So we've done a boot. She did a great job.
Yeah, she really
She
did.
did an awesome job. I worked with her these last few days testing them out and everything. I'm like, Debbie, you've done wonders. You've
Yeah.
done wonderful. It's been
Yeah.
great. Okay, so we have a boot. We have a cowboy hat.
Scoot and boogie.
Okay. We have a star. Okay,
Cute.
and this one here, I just put my granddaughter's name in the middle of it. It says
Cute.
Molly. And then we have another star design that has a vinyl over the top of it. And I just put some gold star glitter underneath that vinyl.
Cute.
It's so fun.
And so there's that one. And
You don't want
then-
to put your hot cup of coffee on that one.
No, I would.
No.
I would prevent from doing that
but
one.
somebody suggested like a Christmas decoration.
But I could put my Pepsi
cute.
on it.
you could
Yes.
definitely put your Pepsi
So
on it.
yeah, just be careful with your hot. So you could use it as a trivet.
Yeah.
Actually, you
Yeah.
could make it big enough to use
Yeah,
it as
you
a
could.
trivet.
You could.
So which would be really fun.
And
as long
then-
as you use cotton.
Yes.
Yeah, anything
Your
that
cotton
won't
thread.
melt.
Yeah. Right. And then the other one just says howdy.
It's great.
Yeah.
So cute.
So
Good job,
as
Debbie.
as you can see, these are the 5 designs that you will get.
4.
5.
5.
Oh,
4.
This is-
It's
we
just
get
4,
two
but-
different
but you do-
designs.
yeah,
Two different
ways of
two
doing it.
different ways to do it,
Yeah,
and they
one-
are two separate downloads
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
also.
So it's
Yeah.
really
So yeah.
fun.
Anyway, that's what Debbie has done for us, and so we actually. So how did we do this, Fern? You actually just I took my coaster like this, and I used a sticky back tearaway.
Okay.
Now I know Fern said she used a sticky back wash away.
I did a wash away.
Yeah. Either way, I don't think either way, but I would highly recommend a sticky back. Now,
Okay.
what if I don't have sticky back?
You can use spray, right?
Okay, you
Or
definitely
stick.
could.
You could
A
probably
glue
You
stick,
could.
I think sticks
One
better.
more way.
you could probably use Kimberbell tape to
Okay.
tape it down. But I'm not. That's not the one that
That's
you're
not
seeing.
the one I'm looking for.
I would
Okay.
just hold it there.
Yeah, you would too.
You know me,
yeah.
just
okay.
hold it.
So, and it all depends on the size that you're
Yeah.
making. Okay,
Right.
say I'm going to make one that's just that's larger, that's like a plate size or whatever. So you're going to use a larger hoop so that you can set it down in the hoop,
You want it flat?
and you can stitch it. down onto
Oh.
the
Right, 'cause
stabilizer.
we do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Stitch.
Okay, that's
so
a great idea.
you could either do it by hand, or you could actually do like a large basting stitch of some
Right.
sort, just a tack down stitch.
Yeah.
In maybe 4 or 5 different places,
Okay, great
depending on how big it is.
Great idea.
So you could definitely
Use
yeah.
you could use anything
Yes.
then, a tearaway.
Yes.
And
yes, you could.
something like
If I
that.
don't have sticky back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get this to stay, a basting stitch of some sort would definitely would work.
Yeah.
Just
So yeah.
make sure that it's
Yeah.
enough that you can take out.
So Jeanette, no, the rope is not sold in different colors. The rope that we used here is all
It's dyed.
this natural color, and I dyed it. So that way it gives you a lot more options.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's
there you
fun.
go.
Wow.
Okay.
What a fun thing.
Yeah.
And then you just embroidered it normally. You didn't have to do anything different.
Slow your machine down a little bit.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely would slow your machine down. You
Yeah.
don't want it going, crazy. And on these here, you can see I used leather underneath that one. This one I used fabric. Fern put fabric on the underneath side of her boot to kind of decorate her boot up a little bit. So I
Changed out
think
my
that
thread colors.
turned
It's
out
really
really
cute.
cute. Yeah, and changed up that.
Hat. I did a black hat.
And this is a black hat. So
On the tail.
they just can
It's really
make
fun.
it your own.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do what you need to.
Yep.
So yeah.
What a fun
Different
a
things.
fun project. This is like so awesome. I want to talk about this for even longer.
I want to make
I'm
them.
like, I wanna
let's
make
see, how
top
much
one.
time have you got?
I know, right? I would love to. What some fun ideas, and it's really exciting, and how easy it is. So even if you're not comfortable embroidering, this would be a great beginning project
Right.
for
You
an
could
embroider.
applicate it.
You could
Yes.
applicate it. I
bet you could.
Yes, absolutely.
So Kim
then-
is asking, do you raise your presser foot? Yes, Kim, you would need to raise your presser foot so that when you put this rope underneath it, it just floats across the top of your. Now, when you're making your coaster at first, no, it's regular height on your presser foot, but if you're embroidering on it, you do
probably
definitely
wanna do-
need to raise your presser foot a little bit
Okay.
so that it just kind of floats across the top of it. So yeah.
Those are some great tips.
Great
Oh,
question.
this is so fun. This was such a fun project.
Yes.
And I hope that all of you were
Yeah.
inspired like I was. Like I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. So
We know where Jackie's going to be the rest of the
I
afternoon.
said, I'm not going to go home. I'm going to stay and make some rope
That's right.
coasters.
There you go.
So it's really fun. So, well, that's great. Well, that just kind of leads us right into the next thing, into our thing number 3. But before we do, we're going to talk about, there's another new machine that was just
Oh, yes.
brought, that introduced. And some of you have already seen this. In fact, I've put money down on this machine.
Jackie!
So
really do.
anyway,
Oh, good for
this is
you.
called the New Radiance.
Yes.
And so it is going to be another top
Does
of
your
the
husband
line. My husband actually
He's
is the
like,
best, and
I bet.
he whatever makes me happy kind of thing.
I think all of our husbands are like
But-
that. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, but I wanted
Well, I'm here.
So anyway, we want to show you just a little bit of fun things that this new machine. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that. Okay, well, we know that the rope bowls are the biggest craze right now.
Yeah.
You see it all over the internet. And so we'll first talk about maybe some different ideas, Fern, that you've come up with
That we can do with
that
rope.
we can do with rope.
Well, I was kind of bored waiting for this meeting. I made me a necklace.
Look at that! Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, I love
I
it. You could-
crocheted it. I finger crocheted it.
Okay, you could put beads on it.
So now
or
Chris
whatever.
knows I can crochet.
So there you go. There's your new.
But
There's your new.
that's not with a hook.
No, it wasn't with a hook. It was finger crochet.
Oh, yeah, and then don't forget you could do a headband or a bracelet, right?
Can I do
or
this?
A headband. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
digging this.
Okay, there's the.
My
there is
grandkids
the
are going to be,
new,
my granddaughter's going to be so jealous.
Oh, okay, there's the new trend, folks. We just
That's
started
right.
a new trend.
Crown,
and a crown.
tug.
for
I'm
sure.
expecting you all at tug to have one.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
The other thing is I pre-bought some trays, some rope trays, and after Kimberbell, it's like, oh, I got to make these for my grandkids.
Ah.
And so I did this for my little Ember down in New Mexico, and she loves purple and loves cats, and I found some perfect fabric, but I just stitched it out, used the Kimberbell's, oh, what's the secret
Happy
called?
Place.
Happy,
The Happy
Place,
Place.
thank you. Use the, and I think that is the
This
8
is-
by,
Yeah, this is the
larger one?
This is the
The
large
8 by
one,
8?
and then this design is from the Kimberbell's Choose Kindness.
What a great
Kimberbell Day.
thing to always be a reminder,
Right?
right? I
So
love that.
I'm going to actually I'm going for a balloon festival. I'm going to take it to her and we're going to hang it on her wall.
Oh, I love it.
So, but it's just, you can find all these pre-made rope wall hangings and baskets, and this one I stitched down. If you're in a basket and you can't stitch it down, or I might even, like, if it's a square basket, it would be hard to stitch around that, so I might glue it to the outside and let it sit,
Okay.
and
That is such
take
a cute
advantage of
idea.
somebody else's
Yes.
product.
But you could
and
definitely
put in
make-
my
you could
spin for
definitely
it.
make that for
this
sure.
you could definitely make.
Yeah.
So this is like simple.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, you just want to keep it flat until you do your edges
sides.
and then roll it up.
Perfect.
But
What a cute
Yeah.
idea. I love that saying.
isn't that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. I think that we all need to be reminded of that.
Yes.
Be
Isn't
reminded of that.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Okay.
And then I was kind of browsing on Pinterest and found this adorable little cat.
Cute. Oh, so we're
I just
talking
kind
about
of played
shapes.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of played with it and made a little cat. So it could be a bull for
Yes.
bull riding.
Oh. There
got
you
its
go.
horns.
There you go. Okay, that's awesome.
So-
Yeah, I love it. And
But-
then not to mention all your fun variegated. I mean, look at all of these fun things.
I mean,
You
this
went to town.
Kind of a. So there's
So
a
you-
couple. I just added a little bit of fabric and tried to make it as, what in my mind, country looking.
Okay.
I like turquoise and brown, so I use those colors. But
So this one, she just wrapped the just pieces of scrap fabric
Yep, I just
onto the
wrapped 'em
rope
on there.
as you went around, and then it just incorporates it right in as you're making as
Right.
it goes around. So
And I made
not a
it just,
problem.
I sewed it together just with regular white cotton thread, and then went back with one of the designs, one of the decorative stitches, and just kind of sewed it wherever I wanted to.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's got
And
kind
just
of a
kind of-
decorative stitch on there. Is that
Yeah.
a good view there, Abby?
Yeah, that's cute. I love that.
Okay.
I love the fabric.
Yeah, just kind of coordinate it there a little bit. So that worked out really great. That was a
Yeah.
great job, Fern.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
So I said you can be so creative with this. This
Yes.
is what's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this has just been so fun, but before, we can't go without telling you some fun things, all these fun things.
Stuff coming up.
Yeah, that we actually have the designs, those 4 cute little designs.
Oh, yes.
On to purchase. And for a limited time, we are offering that if you purchase the 4 designs, you actually get a limited embellishment kit to go with it. That will be free with the purchase of the design. Now, we only have a select few.
Right.
So once they're gone, they're gone. And so that it will be part of our, and you have to have the coupon code, Howdy. So fitting, right?
What is it?
Yeah.
Is it Howdy?
Howdy.
Howdy. I know.
That was Minnie Pearl.
I kind of feel like it.
Yeah. So that's a really fun thing. We'll also have everything that we've talked about today under our on our
Our new
website.
thing, yep.
That you can
New
purchase all of
releases
the
and-
fun stuff, especially the variegated thread. We also have a little
We have a
bundle of
kit.
6
Yep.
of the variegated thread
we've
that's
got-
available to purchase so that you can see how cute. And I love variegated thread. It's really fun. It gives some dimension, and it's a lot of fun. So we have
There's,
6 different colors.
Oh,
Okay, there's a yellow, a blue, a green, a brown, a purple, and a pink.
Okay, so I think you're covered on
So, yeah.
on a lot of those colors.
So there's those. Now, somebody wanted to see the back side of the
What?
coasters. So basically, that's it right there. You can kind of see the little center of them. Looks just like the center of this. you
But
know.
then you were telling me how you could cover the back.
Yeah.
With
Oh, yeah.
shelf paper. Is it
That shelf
paper?
protector stuff
Truth-
that
yeah.
make keep the
Yeah,
the
keeps it
anti-slide.
Yeah. So if you wanted
Slide
to
it,
cover
yeah.
the back of it so that you didn't show.
That doesn't
then,
show, yeah.
Then you could definitely do that.
And again, that's a tear away, and Fern used a wash away. So either one of them would work just great.
Okay.
yeah.
That's so fun. I love
And then
it.
as far as
And the one
any of
she
the
added the fabric. Yep.
fabric here, this one it doesn't show anything, but all of the designs here have a satin stitch around the outside edge, so it's not a raw edge.
Okay.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that. The leather is just a little bit different, has a texture to it,
Which makes it
which
look,
makes
Makes
your
a very
boot,
cool boot.
and your hat
it looks like an old time
Yeah.
looks
leather,
a little bit different. Yeah.
weathered. There we go.
Weathered.
It's
That's
weathered.
a great
Yeah.
word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll get a piece of leather and 2 pieces of fabric, and then some
The cute little
stars,
stars.
for inside of your vinyl here.
Okay.
So
So
fun.
yeah,
So they
that's
want
what you get.
to see the one where I added the fabric on the rope.
So the back
On the
side.
rope.
Oh, on
Yeah.
the back side of these?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, looks like that, and the back side looks just like that. But there again, it's the back, and
gonna
if
be
you
on the
put
bottom, yeah.
something,
If you wanted to put something
Yeah.
on the
And
back
I
to
was-
hold it, which would be
I was
great.
just more concerned about having it show on the top. If you wanted to wrap it around a couple of times, it would show on both sides.
Oh, and Cindy
Yeah.
says you could use cork too on the
Cork
back.
is a great idea.
So that would be a great idea too.
cork would be
Yeah.
a
I love all of
perfect
these
idea.
ideas. This
Yeah.
is
Great
perfect.
idea, Cindy. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's really fun.
You guys are awesome.
This is so fun. I hope that you were all inspired today, because I certainly was. Thank you, thank you,
Yes.
thank you so much
fun.
for
You
spending the
bet.
time
It's
in
been fun.
creating all of these fun stuff. And we're so happy that all of you joined with us today. Thank you for being with us today. And we hope that you come back tomorrow. The rest of the week is going to be a way fun howdy
hoot and holler in the week.
rodeo. We'll do some other things. So get your cowboy boots and your cowboy hats. And don't forget to like or share our 3 at 3, and
Yes.
so that we can share it with our friends, because who doesn't want to share these fun ideas? And so it was so fun to be with you, Fern and Sandra.
thanks.
What a fun
Thank
day
you.
this
Thank
was.
you. It's been great.
I
Thanks,
was
Jackie.
so
Thank you.
so happy to be with you. Hope that all of you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget, do what you love.